Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Strategy Vault. I'm Gio and I'm here with Felix for episode number 33, getting Tuesday done. Felix, appreciate
Let's
you
go.
joining from the job site, man.
Ça fait plaisir, bro. Ça fait plaisir. Écoute,
How's it
we have
going
to
over
get
there?
this podcast done, right? Like,
Yeah,
no,
I love how I
it's
asked you
it's
before. I'm like, man, do you want to take a day off today? And maybe we can just, since you're not at your office, we can just take a day off. You're like, no, man, not a chance. I love that.
no, no.
How's
We
work?
could we could
How's work today? You guys
definitely.
busy?
Yeah, we're almost done. We're almost done here. We just finished. I don't know if we could see. Let me unzoom my screen so I know what I'm doing here. I don't want to switch the camera here, but we're doing a beautiful hotel here, cleaning the windows. I
Good
I
stuff.
came to help my guys here. It's in Quebec City, so I didn't want to spend much time on it. I just rushed it, and yeah, man, we're rushing the jobs out as fast as possible. Like many entrepreneurs, I'm not done, scaling and transferring all my knowledge to my guys. And by the way, I hope that the noise in the back. I hope the generator in the back is not. You can't hear it, right?
No,
The AirPods, beautiful.
you hear it a bit, but it's okay. And I have headphones on, and I hear it just a bit, so I should be
But I
fine.
think it's the reason I chose to do it is because I thought it was a beautiful use case for all the guys out there, that might have excuses. I have no excuse. And I actually love those challenges when I'm out there. I need to be in the field. Like I have nothing to hide, like this is real stuff. I really need to be in the field sometimes. Why? You're gonna ask me why? Why? Because we're using new technologies. We're using tools that have been used before, but not in the way that we're using them. So this requires me sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes to just figure it out. We wing it. Multiple times since we started this podcast, I was wondering to myself, how am I gonna make this? And instead of telling you, and we could have that meeting at the beginning and be like, ouais, mais comment que je vais faire, George? Comment je vais faire pour comment je vais faire pour tout faire? How am I gonna make it all? Like how am I gonna make this podcast 5 days a week without missing? And we missed. Obviously, we missed on the first month. We missed a couple times. You went on vacation. We thought it was gonna be easy. Blah blah blah. We learned. You live, you learn. But throughout, you get passionate about something. You really want to get it done, and you also think that there's a mission attached to it. We're committed. So when you're
Yeah,
committed to something and you really start doing it and you really get into it, you figure it out. If you start at the beginning by telling yourself, yeah, but it doesn't fit with the calendar, of course it does not. If you look at
you
your
make it
calendar
fit.
one
You
month and a
make it
half
fit.
before, yeah,
You make it
yes,
fit.
exactly. You're gonna have to make it fit. It's your job to make it fit. If you're committed, it's your job to make it fit. You have no choice. Um, so I thought it was a perfect, today getting Tuesday done is a perfect way to show not that I'm able to do a bunch of things at the same time, but also that I know for some guys it might sound overwhelming, look overwhelming, but if you have the right approach and you're organized in advance, it's part of the commitment, right? Like if you're not committed to doing something like the podcast, if I was not committed, I would have called Jordan. Why it's impossible? I'm not ready. Sorry, bro. Sorry, but I'm committed to it. So I left home this morning at 3:50 in the morning. I left and I had a little thing. My train of thoughts were on the podcast. I was taking down notes, and that's it. I was already thinking about this podcast in the morning, and it's part of the subject that we're going to be talking about. You know, how do you figure all these things out? How could you do our organic advertisement and figure out your business and scale your guys at the same time outside? They need to learn. They need to. How could you do that? It's possible. We're going to be talking about it. We're going to and the book we're reading on Tuesday, the get things done method. Me and George, we've been rocking with this theory with ça fait combien d'années, George, qu'on parle de ça, GTD? Ça fait depuis 2018, 2019. It's been years.
Well, you recommended me this book, like, I think it was 2 years ago. I read it, and now I'm like, you know what? I want to read it again because it was so good, but there's just so much value in it. There's so much information to get and good, like, actionable information to take. And because personally, I'm somebody who has ADHD and I have a hard time staying organized. I have a hard time fitting everything in. I'm a hungry person. I'm an ambitious person. But I feel like that is like, it's like a double-edged sword, you know? It's good, and it's at the same time, it's like you got to keep everything clean and organized. And sometimes, man, I'm not organized. I'm not the most organized. That's why I feel like I can get so much value from just doing this, you know, these lives with you, and also sharing the experiences that I gained. And man, I'm so happy that you recommended me this book because it helped a lot. Like, a lot of the concepts in the book are really, really, really helpful. And I'm reading it again now. It's the second time I read this book. And chapter 4 is a good one too. Because when I read it, I realize I'm not the only one.
Yeah,
I realize I'm not the only fucking person with these problems of staying organized, you know? And I sometimes I feel like I just try to do everything. I try to do too much at once, and I end up failing a lot of the things, you know? And then I look back and I say, okay, maybe I'm taking on too much. I'm taking on too many tasks now. So, like, just to get back to your point that you said before about, you know, you're able to do it. I see the way you do it. Like, you're able to take some time off your business and sit in your truck and have these chats with me. Man, how do you do it? How are you so good at it? Does it practice?
I'm not good at it.
How are you so good at managing your time? I'm horrible at managing my time.
So you how to do it is one thing, and we're gonna be talking about this like for many weeks ahead. I know that
somebody who asked over here, Dells.
for some people
you off. Sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to answer somebody who's watching us wanted to know where they can order the book. Can you order the book anywhere online? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
Dells,
of course, Amazon.
You can get on Amazon. It's called Getting Things Done by
GTD method by
the GTD method
David
by
Allen.
David Allen.
David Allen.
Amazing book to help staying organized. And
Staying
if you're as hungry as
but
we are, and
also
as a
get a sense of control on what's overwhelming your creative side, because as soon as you lose like that sense of control, you lose track, you know. And that's what this book is explaining basically. And chapter 4 that we've read, me and George today, was
bro,
more,
you
more
won't
about
regret it,
realizing.
man. Amazing. Sorry, Phil. It's a really, really good good purchase, Dells. You won't regret it, man. It's gonna, if you have trouble like us staying organized, and you're also very hungry and ambitious, and you're just trying to fit everything in, bro, this book is gonna solve all your problems. So I would like to get your comments when you're done reading it, brother.
Yeah, we could definitely hear your feedback. Is it Delhi? John Dells? No?
I think so. M. Dells.
Not sure. Anyways, but what I was saying is the first spark I had when I was reading this book, because there's so much, it's packed with information. Like, it's so packed, Jordan. Like, I was reading the first chapters. I remember back in 2017, 2018, right before my wedding. I remember and me and my wife, it's funny because me and my wife, we had that discussion yesterday, because we're looking back. Our son is our son is she's giving birth this week, so we're having all these discussions, about how we started and where we started when we got married and how fast this all went. And I remember reading this book for the first time on Audible. It was I was listening to the book and taking notes, and it was so packed, so juiced up with like good insights, good information. I remember I had to let it go for a moment just to figure out things with my life before I could go back to really applying. I had to start by really make an assessment of all the things that bugged me, that were not right. My carte d'assurance, my medical cards, all this stuff, my carte d'assurance maladie, all this stuff, that was pulling on my psyche.
The little things.
And
it's the little
things. I had
ordering
to fix
your expired license, your passport, small things,
everything, and
if
fix
you
that
have
first. I've read the first four chapters. I did that, and I went back to reading the book. And
the thing is, if you don't take care of those small little tasks, you won't be able to take care of the bigger things in your life. You won't be able to handle how are you supposed to, take care of your business if you have all these little things pulling on your brain, take out, okay, maybe not take out the garbage, but renew my license, call the daycare for my kid, little things like that, that just bog down. And once you have everything, once everything's written down on a piece of paper, you feel all that crazy so stuff good.
You have no time for.
And he even says in the book, the guy says that once you write everything down on a piece of paper, it's 50% is done. 50% of the problem is done.
I think a few podcasts back, I was telling that I had all these lists that I was using, paper lists. But as we went through the month, I was really assessing what I was really doing, and I realized that since I've read the book, since I've been applying all these things in the book, the GTD method, what it does.
Salut, Georges. Georges Val.
Hi, sir. Oh, Georges Val, bonjour. I realized that there was a bunch of stuff that I kept on writing down, but I was actually able to act upon them right now for the next action to just be automated. So I'll give you an example. I had life insurance to do. I hate those things. Everybody hates to call life insurance and do all those stuff. I had to renew my life insurance because I was with Primerica. Hated it. I had to change it. So my wife was bugging me, call your life insurance, blah, blah, blah. I finally did it, but instead of writing it down, I right away I took the appointment. So right away I went on the website. I was on my not true. I was on the phone with my wife. She asked me the question while I was on the phone. She did it for me. Let's be real. Let's give credit. She did it for me. She's like a champ. She did it for me. I answered the question. It was 18 questions, and we fixed it right away. And there's a bunch of stuff. And the guy called me today. Yes, you have an appointment tomorrow, 3:00. Is it fine? Nowadays, there's a bunch of stuff. If you just act upon the first action, just a trigger action, to take the appointment. Boom. Afterwards, it just gets done by itself.
Okay, but so how do you decide which tasks to focus on first? How do you decide? Because sometimes I have a bunch of stuff to do, but I don't know which one to do first. I don't know which one is more important first. Should we just adopt the mindset that just do it, just start from anywhere? It's better than just doing nothing, I guess, because sometimes I look at all the things that I have to do and I kind of get paralyzed, I'm you start getting stressed. You're fuck, I have all these things to do. I'm nah, never mind. And you end up I end up turning on Call of Duty, for example, and I'll just start playing video games. I don't know if that happens to you guys, but how do you get around that?
It used to happen to me. Okay, so they describe a lot of tricks in the books and all that stuff. What worked for me a lot was the fact that sometimes we tend to separate what's personal, what's this business, that business. It's all tasks. it's all tasks. If you see them all as tasks that take time, and you just see them as
Mo Green. How are
time
you, sir?
eaters, time consumer, you're just gonna be able to fit everything into one system. So my system is, if it takes less than 1 minute, it should be action right now. If the piece of information, a piece of data, someone calls me, yeah, I have a problem in the IVR system, I'm not receiving calls. Okay. If I could action that piece of information that's been given to me into something right now that could be either done by someone else in my team, or if it's only for me to figure out, and I could do it right now. The actionable. I mean, I mean the actionable stuff. Not just like, oh yeah, I need to, like, when can you actually fix it? If the IVR is broken, writing it down on a piece of paper is good. But where do you put that piece of paper? If you're in the truck like me, writing it down on a piece of paper, ADHD as I am, as you are, it's just gonna get lost. My
I
system
feel
is
like a
really
lot of
like
people are like
having
us.
a team.
Like I get messages like, again, Dells. Man, we're all the same. We're all the same. We have somebody here who says they also procrastinate and then turn it into video games. Why do we do this to ourselves? If you look at it, if you
I
look at
used to
it
do
like
that a
from the
lot.
outer perspective, if you look at it from the outer perspective, it's like, it's so logically, it's so easy. It's like, bro, if you have something, just do it. But it's not that. It's like not that simple.
So
It's like, I don't know. This is how my brain works. It's like, oh, but and you start to play games in your head, like, oh, should I do this first? Should I do that first? And you try to strategize the best course of action.
so when you buy
I'm
when you
talking
buy
about
when you
me.
buy the game, the first day you buy the game. When you buy a game, the first day you buy a game, if you're like me, you're fiending the game. Okay, so you get home, you're so excited. It's a brand new, not a like random game. You buy the console, you have like 4 or 5 games to try. No, you buy that game that you've been waiting for. You're going home. You're making yourself a little ritual. You're gonna get yourself a nice, calm night of gaming. Get yourself some snacks and do that ritual and get in the groove, get in the zone, and play for hours, right? So for our projects, we do the same thing, and we act the same way when we first start a project and we first start working at a new place, and
Hey,
when we
the
first
barber.
start a new
How are you, sir?
hobby, we all do the same. We're all the same, and our motivation goes like this, because you can't buy motivation. Nobody could give you enough money and keep you motivated. It's not something that you could just. It has to be something that you drive and pull from yourself. It's
No,
a commitment.
motivation
It's
is
the
such
commitment you attach to.
BS. It's such a scam to think bro. Like, my life changed when I found out
It's
that
not a driver.
motivation is
It's not a
it's not a
driver.
driver. Motivation is not a driver. You're
It's a
not gonna have it
feeling.
every single day. It's impossible to like to always be motivated. And that's what I like about this book. It makes you develop that system to, no matter what, no matter how you feel, you still do what you have to do. And because you have that system in place that you set for yourself, you just do it. No matter how you feel sick. Okay, it depends how sick you are, whatever. But no matter what's going on in your
That
life,
book
you like,
makes
you
you.
know that it's
That
like,
book.
look, it's like
Sorry
we
to
have
cut
this.
you off. It makes you ask the hard questions about yourself, about your life. What do you really want to do? I wanted to get married. I wanted kids. It made me write that down. It made me really think about that, and I was like, man, what am I doing to get a real wedding that I want, and to get the house that I want, to get the kids that I want? Right after reading that book, sir, I'm not even kidding you, and you know, because you know me. I got married. We moved out from our 1 bedroom apartment. Me and my wife. I actually I proposed in our 1 bedroom apartment. I was broke like cockroaches, and I didn't have cockroaches, but I was broke as like what. And we moved out to a bigger apartment with a garage, and everything expanded from there. But let me tell you this: I had a tunnel vision, laser beam focus on the goal.
You had
From
clarity. So that book gave you clarity.
yeah, clarity.
You know what to do.
The rest was gone. Yeah, the rest I had no time for. The rest was not important. The rest was just noise that was preventing me from reaching the next level. And actually, that was like leeching on my good energy, creative energy, all the stuff that was not important, all the stuff that was just stuff stuck inside my head. You should do this, you should do that. Oh, you didn't do it, now you have a ticket. No, you didn't pay your license. Now you're driving illegally. Bro, all that stuff that needs to be fixed. As soon as you get it inside a system, I have a system for everything. I have a system for my marketing. You know it. I have a system for my marketing. We could talk about it for hours. We won't. But I have a Scrum workspace, where we get all the marketing inside the stories, the troubleshooting of the. It all goes into a Scrum. We'll talk about it. On peut en parler. On peut aider les gens aussi à s'organiser. Get organized on a Scrum environment was a very big thing for, like, I just discovered that not a long time ago.
Phil, we have a question. We have a question in the chat.
All your contacts, all your money.
I have a question here for you in the chat. Del says he's career focused. He's building an online business, but a lot of times doesn't feel motivated to work on it. How do I push myself to put more time into it?
Oh, I felt that. I lived that at the beginning. It's very hard.
I feel like this guy's exactly like us. He's having the same kind of
people. Yeah, there's a bunch of people like us, bro. Like, obviously, because we're going probably through the same path. Like, when I first started, I was alone. I had no team. So this is a very depressing moment because you're building something and you're the only one that believes in it, and you're the only one that has vision. I think one of the good things you should do, and that you could do, that one actionable piece of stuff that you should do right now is break isolation by going through Facebook groups. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're in which field.
Yeah, can you share a bit more information, Dels? What kind of career are you in, and what kind of business? What kind of online business are you doing? But we all have those days that we just say, like, fuck it, I don't feel like doing anything. Like, sometimes I allow myself to have those days. It's rare, but I have those days sometimes I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like it. I know it's, and I know in my head it doesn't become a habit, but sometimes it feels amazing. You know, I'm gonna sleep a bit extra today. I feel a bit tired. I'm just gonna.
We're gonna talk about that later on. I don't know which chapter. I've read that in the book, but the book explains that when you feel like that, when you feel just like, man, just not doing it, bro, like it's not working. Just sitting down in front of your desk, in front of your computer, trying to grind it is not gonna make it, and it's not gonna make you feel better. What worked for me is actually doing these tasks I was tackling tasks that were boring but easy. So I was tackling these tasks that were low priority, but were also playing on the psyche. So when you feel like that, it's a good time for you to slow down on the producing, connecting. Stop for a bit. Go at the pharmacy. Go pick up the stuff your wife asked you for like 10 days. Go at Costco. Go make some like grocery, refreshing. So you buy some good stuff for you. You shave. You do some low priority stuff, but some also good for your health and good for your psyche, good for your mind. You clear those tasks. Not doing anything, not going on the computer, not playing. You tackle, you check mark stuff, but low priority stuff. That's what you do. That's what you should do.
Bro, first of all, man, 70 hours a week, that's a lot, bro. So kudos to you, bro. bro, that's not everybody can do that, man. Like I wouldn't like, don't be hard on yourself, bro. That's already what you're doing is fantastic, bro. The
What is
fell,
he
I'm just
doing?
gonna
Sorry, I
read you the
can't see
comment.
you.
There are two guys
Yeah.
working on it on a project, I guess, and he's also working full time, pulling 70 hours a week, and obviously it gets exhausting to come home and work, and need to figure out how to push myself to work on it more.
My
Like,
man.
I don't know.
Listen,
I feel like he's already pushing hard. I feel like you shouldn't be hard on yourself, bro. That's really good.
I don't know for how many years you've been pushing, but bro, like this podcast is distilled. Is this distillation of years and years and years of I don't count hours. I don't know how. I don't count the hours. You count hours, Jordan. We've
No, I don't
been
count hours.
building for years, been 10 years. Bro, I woke up this morning at 3:50, and trust me, I'm not going to bed at 12. I'm still out. We're still going to be out there. I have an IVR system to fix. I have people waiting on me. I have salespeople. I was cleaning windows a little earlier on my AirPods, talking with the marketing department that we're building, by the way, because these guys don't know nothing about marketing. I don't know nothing about marketing. Listen, you need to get these muscles. You go to the gym, you're pulling barbells, pulling blah, blah, blah. I don't go to the gym. I just work. But
Yeah,
I've been
Dels,
to the gym.
you can sign up to our YouTube here. I'm gonna put the ticker up. If you look at the screen, I'm gonna put you our banner over here. I don't know if you could see it. Let me know. But bro, we really appreciate your support, man. We just started this podcast. What is it, like a month and a half ago? Because like me and my friend Felix over here, we always have these conversations. We feel like we always have good conversations, and we should share it with other people. So thank you, bro. I really appreciate that very much. If you could go follow us on Facebook and on YouTube. We're not like I said, since we just started, like our page is obviously not professional or anything yet, because like we literally just started, but we're learning, as we go. We stream every day, Monday to Friday, and man, maybe one day you can come on and join us. We like we do live interviews as well on Fridays. So if you'd be interested in joining us on the podcast, bro, we can. Fridays usually we chill, we have a drink, and we talk.
Yeah.
And yes, sir.
But yeah, I definitely feel
Bro,
this man, bro.
you honestly, bro, you're good to come on our podcast right away. You don't have to hit your targets, your goals or whatever to feel like you could come on, bro. You're more than welcome to come on the podcast, man. What you're doing already is inspiring. It's like most people just go to work
What is he doing?
35, 40 hours a week, and then they
Yeah,
they just go home and watch Netflix, bro. So but we want more people to hear stories like yours and hopefully inspire people.
Yeah, 100%. Why not? Like, we're regular guys also. Like, I don't have like, we're on the road to. This podcast is also about learning. We have strategies. We've watched other podcasts. We've read books. We've watched those webinars just like anybody else. And the building process is also an interesting process. Like, it's nice to look at other people building their stuff. That's what we're trying to show. So there's no point of having don't be shy, man. Just come on, and if you have more questions, feel free, bro. Like, I'm curious to know in what industry this guy is trying to build. Maybe he's in the software, or I wonder what,
Maybe we could find out at when we do our live session.
But
bro, you can even honestly, Dels, you could even come this Friday if you're down. If you want to come this Friday or next Friday, let us know. Let us know which Friday you're free, and we'll set it up. Home exterior.
I feel like it's a home exterior decoration. Interesting. Home exterior decoration.
So he's probably busy for Halloween now.
Yeah. But you know what? I feel like I've answered like I've answered too fast a little earlier because this guy, you know, he was like he's doing 73 hours in his company. I was like, yeah, I pump 110 hours. It's not a competition here. I feel like that's the toxic side of business that we should not promote. Like there's like it's not a question of how many hours, and like some guys make it by doing 10, 12 hours a week, and they push on marketing because they know on which buttons to press at the beginning of a business. They know that marketing is everything. Just push on that at the forefront, and you know, they get results. They get lucky.
Okay, so I think from what I understand,
like
you're saying like the work smart, not hard type of thing. I don't know if that's what you're referring to.
Yes.
But imagine,
So you need to eat don't eat too big of a chunk if you're not ready yet. You need to start with smaller chunks. You need to bite the work. If it's that big in your head, you know, and you have like you work, you're I don't know, man, you're a dentist or you're a lawyer at the same, or peut-être une autre job, t'es un garagiste. You want to start your garage. You want to own your own piece of real estate. I don't know. Like no matter the goal, sometimes it feels so far away, you know, and you're like, shit, man, this is so overwhelming. Where am I gonna start? Who should I listen to? These sales guy, these podcast guy, every weekdays they have who should I listen to? Who's the like?
Everybody needs a mentor.
Really, where should I start?
Needs a mentor. I find everybody needs a mentor. Not I find. I know. Nobody could navigate this shit by themselves. Everybody needs a team. Needs a group of soldiers. Nobody could do it alone.
Yeah.
You need a mentor. Where do you
start? Where, like, having a mentor, where do you look for your mentor? Like, where do you look for that?
You try to find. It was a real question. To give somebody that you respect. Give them free value. Give them free value for their business. Help them in some way. Try to find a way that you can help them, and then they're going to be inclined to help you. You have to go. You have to do that. You have to go. Yeah. Thank you, Dels. Appreciate it, bro. Enjoy work, bro. We'll talk soon, man.
A few years back,
we're gonna definitely have you on the pod soon.
Hey, ciao.
Good man.
A few years back, that's what I did. To start my consulting business, I was on Google looking for financement commercial and trying to look the businesses that were fitting the profile as much as the agencies, the consulting. They were consultants. Most of them were just consultants. They were guys. They were just like guys, you know, not companies. Yeah, the storefront was an agency. But really, when I sent an email, it was a guy that received it. Like, c'est le propriétaire, le CEO de la compagnie. Hey, I'm looking for a job. I'm a young consultant. I'm young. I'm trying to learn, and I'm ready to give you clients. I have ads posted everywhere.
There you go.
Clients looking for financing. Boom.
There you go. And so that's what you did. So you helped them.
That's what I did. Yeah. I brought clients.
Who's gonna say no to free clients? You give somebody free. Bro, you're giving the guy free clients. He's gonna love you, and they're gonna go out of their way, bro. They're gonna go out of their way to help you achieve what you need to do, and what your goals are. They're gonna help you. They're gonna want to help you. They're gonna insist to help you.
My first two mentors,
that's just the way it works.
My first two mentors were Denis Doyon and. I had also Alain Roy. I had a few. I had Alain Roy was real estate agent. Sorry, he was a broker. But whatever, man. I had a few mentors that I've hit in that manner, in that fashion, and it helped me grow. I was 22 years old when I started. I started that way at 22 years old. Learning a craft helps you later on be confident on something. Go work for someone else. I was basically sending invoices, but I was working for someone else. But who cares? I was free, man. I was drinking coffee at the hotel, meeting with clients at 23 years old, gathering documents, gathering bank statements and financial statements and stuff like that, and gathering the documents and for these guys, and learning the craft at the same time, learning something while I was there.
Exactly.
And that costed me zero. I was still in an apartment. I was still really learning, like in the learning phase, like 23 years old, 23 years old. What are you at that time?
Look, it's the same thing with me right now. I'm
Discoverer
at the
of the
stage.
world.
I'm at the stage in my real estate journey where it's like, okay, I want to start selling some of my places, for example. I want to start selling some of my places. I don't know how to do it. Let me go find somebody over there who does it, who's big, who could help me, and I'll give them clients. They show me how to do it. I'll provide value to those people, and then they can help me and they can teach me. And then after that, that's how it goes. And then after, I'll help the next people. And I think that's how it works. But you have to give.
You need to shop around, though.
You have to give something.
shop
It's
around,
really
though.
not
Just
as easy.
make sure-
Sorry, it's not as hard as you.
Make
It's
sure-
not as hard as you think. Like, if you really want it, if you really, really want it, I don't want to sound cheesy or anything, but you go where the money is. Go into places, into like the areas where rich people hang out, or somebody who you want to be
Yeah,
is
but
hanging out.
like, t'es d'accord avec moi? T'es d'accord avec moi, George, que comme quand même, faut faire attention, comme faut pas juste aller hit le monde qui ont de l'argent, juste aller hit like you need to be aware that like who you're talking to, like you need to shop around. You had an
Look, Phil, the way I
where
see
you
it,
trusted.
the
But you had an
the
occurrence
way
where
I
you
see-
trusted someone and you got stole. He stole
the
from
way-
you, like the
Yeah, but that's a
The real estate
that's an extreme scenario. But
But they
what
happen.
I'm saying is,
It happened to
what
me.
I'm saying is
it happened
like,
to you, it happened to everyone. There's
it
always
happens
people
for sure.
taking
For sure.
advantage. That's the
Yeah,
point.
for sure. And then you learn. Okay, next time I'm just using a lawyer 100% and getting them to take care. You learn. You make mistakes and you learn, bro. That's the beauty of it. And that's the way I look at it. The way I look at it is, I didn't lose this money. I learned a lesson.
Yeah, you're right.
I didn't pay for a school education. I had these losses along the way. That's my education. That's the best education.
100%.
Somebody
You're
could
right.
tell you something.
you went
Somebody
through
could
it.
tell you something. And you know what's crazy? When you make mistakes, this is one of the most valuable things that I learned, is that when you make mistakes and you learn from it, you're more inclined to understand the value of learning from other people's mistakes. Let me say that again. When you make mistakes in life, it gets you to learn to value learning from other people's mistakes and say, like, okay, you know what? I'm going to probably try to avoid
it's true.
making
I
mistakes in
understand.
the future.
Yeah.
And it took me to actually
And
make
then look
costly
at them. Look at these
mistakes.
guys. Yeah.
It took me to make costly mistakes to realize, like, okay, now I want to learn from people. I'm not just
Very
going to try to, because when I was there, I was like, yeah, I could do everything on my own. I could do it. I could go buy my properties on my own. I could go talk to the agent by myself, to do everything alone. I did it for one property and it worked out flawlessly. I had no problems, made a beautiful acquisition, nice price, good location. And then after, I'm like, okay, well, I mean, it seems like I could, you get some confidence. So like, okay, it's easy. I could do it again. I go to put the deposit on the next property. And then what do you know? The guy leaves the country. It just takes off. When I should have just went with a lawyer, should have just taken the contract, brought to the lawyer, and be like, look, I want to buy this property. And then, shouldn't do those things by yourself. Should not do those things by yourself. But that was one lesson that I learned, right? So,
Wow.
And
Valuable
not completely
lesson. A valuable one.
A very, very valuable lesson. And who knows? Maybe this. Okay, I lost equal to about almost 20K Canadian. So it's a tough one. But maybe that's
Right.
maybe everything happens for a reason. Maybe that's gonna make me learn a lesson that's gonna make me save a lot more money from another loss in the future. Who knows?
But then you ask yourself, and because I was saying you need to be aware of this and you need to watch that, and then you came up with this, and it made me realize, what is the cost of this? Like, it costed you 20 grand, right, to learn. What's the cost of lost opportunity because you're thinking too much, you're overthinking too much, because you're being overwhelmed, because your bed's not made, because your stuff are not taken care of.
Phil,
What's the
that's
cost of
exactly
lost opportunity?
that exactly what you just said is the reason why I went ahead and I just pulled the trigger. I just kept pulling triggers, like go, go, go. But like there
Bought
should be a
another one.
balance. There should be a balance. There should be a balance. You know? And then look, I pulled the trigger on the first one, man. I made a beautiful acquisition. It's worth a lot more than what I paid it. And then after the one, okay, and then I made a little loss on that one where the guy kind of screwed me over. And it's not over, by the way. We're still going to court and stuff. Like we'll see. The guy, he can't come back he can't come back in the country. He can't step foot in the EU. He's done. The moment he comes into the EU, they're grabbing him. He left the EU.
Wow.
So the guy steps. He go to Romania. They're gonna pull him. Like the guy can't go anywhere. You know. So what was I saying? I just lost my train of thought. So yeah, man.
But
I like to look at it like that because it is a lesson. There's no point of looking at it any other way. What's it gonna bring me if I start? You know, it obviously hurts to lose that money. But what am I gonna do? Cry? Complain? You know, I was buzzing for a few days there, for sure. Lost a bit of sleep at the beginning, but then I just told myself, like, there's no point. Like, let's just rebound. I was so obsessed with rebouncing. And then after I bought another place, but I did it the right way, got the lawyer, met with the client, met with the sellers inside the office, signed the contract in front of the lawyer, and everything was kosher after. Everything was good. I transferred the money in front of the lawyer, was watching me transfer it, and everything was kosher. And then after we bought that place, and guess what? The value went up. So I made it back and more just by pulling the trigger again. So that's a perfect example of pulling no triggers is worse than, you know, like, so like I pulled 2 triggers, okay? One I got screwed over, and then the other one I scored on it. I'm still up versus not pulling the trigger at all. Pull the fucking trigger. Make mistakes. Try not to make mistakes like that though, because that hurts.
Yeah, allow yourself to make mistakes.
Allow yourself to make mistakes. Allow yourself to learn. I like to say. I like to frame it like that in my mind. That mistakes is equal to learning good lessons. And yeah, man. That's it on my end for now, Phil. I don't know if you wanted to add. You wanted to go through the topics, actually. You have a couple more minutes?
Of course, bro. Like, we could go. I have, let's say 5. I have 5 minutes, then I have to go.
Okay, let's go through these really quickly. Okay, so the role of a dedicated workspace. Okay. So discuss the benefits of having a specific space for managing your tasks and projects. How does it help in boosting focus and reducing stress?
Wow.
You want me to repeat it?
Like, I would. No, I'm fine. I would say 110%. That's how important it is to have, like,
how does it help in boosting focus?
Stuff. If you don't have that,
it sounds like
your stuff.
It sounds like a no-brainer. But it's like you actually have to pull. You have to do it.
Like, if you're doing calls, how are you going to keep track of all the people you've spoke to, that signed, and that decided to take it for the next year?
But wait, I don't know if he's talking about. Done. I think he's talking about like physical workspace. The role of a dedicated workspace. Discuss the benefits of having a specific space for managing your tasks. But I guess that could apply to. He's just talking about managing in general.
A specific space. No, but bro, it is part of it because it's pulling on your psyche. Like, if you start a business, think about it, okay? If you really think about it, anything that you're starting needs to be scaled at one point because it will grow. Even if it's a hobby, even if it's playing ball, playing hockey, at one point you will scale that hobby because you really like it and you actually want to go with the boys on a weekend. And that will require some managing of new stuff in your calendar. That will require you to reassess your priorities. How could we do that? How could you do that? You need a system for your personal stuff. You need a system for I have a system for my marketing stuff because it's different people, different approach, different ideas. I have a system for that specific workspace for marketing because marketing ideas are workflow differently. I want to show you this picture. I want to show you this video. It's inside a platform made for this. My CRM, we made calls. Hey, okay, call me back next week. Boom, calendar. This platform is made for this. So it's the workflow of ideas on my CRM based on sales and everything that's sales based has to be in a CRM. Proper workspace for I feel like I won't say that enough. You know, you have to put your things that you don't put your drills and your cooking tools at the same spot. You don't do that. They need a different workspace for you to be able to engage with the different tasks that are related to working in the office or working in the kitchen or working in the garage. If your stuff is all over, all together, all across, you won't work. You will.
My dad had a very unique. My dad had a very unique way of organizing his tools when we were younger. Because my dad is a construction guy, and he had this. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a whiteboard that you have in your garage with holes in them. You have a bunch of holes, and you could customize how to insert like the metal pins and like hang like tools and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? It's like you can put pins inside. It's like a big whiteboard. You put pins in, like metal pins, like this. Comme ça. And then after, if you have like a tool, for example, like you can hang the tools. So what he did was he put all the tools on the board, and he took a marker and he outlined the shape of all the tools on all the boards. So the whole wall was with tools, as if you're like going shopping at Ronan and buying a drill. And like, how can you possibly have something out of place? Never. I look up to him. I'm like, man, this guy always knows where everything is. And if I use one of his tools, like if I go in his ratchet set and I take one bit, he's gonna smell it missing. He's like, hey, and he's gonna, and then like, really crazy, like to that point, you know.
But why do you,
bro? Because of these reasons that we're talking about. Because of these reasons. Because probably if I don't put the bit back, his psyche's gonna be bothering him. And I used to buzz. I'd be like, oh, it's just a bit. It's just a bit. But now I understand. It's not just a bit.
Your dad was doing, if I'm not mistaken,
he was doing the GTD method.
One of the construction. Your dad was doing the construction, like one of the worst. Well, I would say the hardest, like some of the hardest construction trade you could actually do. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was doing ceramic. Right?
Yes, exactly.
Like that's one of the hardest. Your dad was doing that. He did that for years. Your dad,
yeah, but jack of all trades though. Like usually,
his stuff in his truck and
in the truck, same thing. Everything placed nicely. Everything. And then me, the complete opposite.
Oh, I think
it's crazy how I didn't take. It's crazy how like I look at it back and I envy how like organized he was. And then after I turn out,
but he knew where to place. He knew where to place his stuff, so his tough work, his hard work was less hard work. It was actually something that he was able to engage properly, fast enough, so he didn't really have to think about it. My stuff is there. My stuff is there. Yeah, what do you want?
Exactly.
You want a joint? Let me give you a joint. Boom.
It takes up zero. It takes up zero. Like
less grind, less bug.
Exactly. It's like if I come to your house and you know where the. If I come to your house and you know where the Billy is in your house, and I ask you for the more Billy, you know where it is. You go grab it. You give me the Billy.
But how? If you're asking yourself where do you start, you should start where you know that your stuff is grinding. Like the stuff you like to do, the stuff you're trying to build, the business you're trying to, like, how is your workspace looking? You have to
But is
redo
it
the
better,
same old
Phil?
thing again every morning?
Is it a good? Do you think, in your opinion, it's a good approach to just handle stuff in any way, not have any particular order, and just do it because it's better than doing nothing? Or is
Man,
it better
bro,
to
like
really?
like I said, would you go to a dentist where the drills and the gum
No.
packages
Okay, yes, I
and the stuff
understand
are
what you're saying.
everywhere? Would you go
What
there?
I'm saying is, I'm getting specific. I'm getting specific into strategic approach. The strategic approach to not.
For someone who doesn't know where to start, so for someone who doesn't know, like, who's bugged, like we talked a little earlier with your guy there, he was like, man, I'm just paralyzed. I go straight to playing computer. Like, to prevent that, if we're trying to find a fix, an antidote for that precisely, I would say start with the clutter. Start with the, instead of the gaming, go with the framing. Like, frame your workspace, frame your scenario. What do you want on next Monday when you feel better? Work for when you feel better. Go make, if it's groceries, go make groceries. If you don't have money for groceries and you're hungry and it prevents you from focusing, go cut grass, make some money, go buy grocery. Do it by the, like, find the first thing, but fix clutter first. That's my thing. Do your bed. Clean your shower. So you have a clean shower to go in every morning for the next weeks. Quand tu vas avoir besoin de ton, when you're going to need the most energy. You need to step back. It's a step back process.
Yeah,
The
you have to take a
first
step
part,
back.
like,
You have to take a step
you
back
feel
sometimes.
cluttered, you
But you know
feel
what's crazy though?
overwhelmed, it's a
But
step back
Phil,
process and a cleanup process.
sometimes you don't even know what it is. Sometimes you don't even know what's pulling on your mind. You know there's something, you're like, fuck, like I know there's something that I need to do. It's the worst feeling. It's like, I know there's something I needed to do, but I can't remember what it was.
I would put my $100. It's clutter. I would put $100. It's clutter in your life.
100%.
If I go inside of your house,
But okay,
and, like,
and then you identify. Okay, but Phil, sometimes you don't know what it is.
Don't go
You're like
you know what you did not do.
Sometimes you know it's clutter, but you don't know which clutter it is. So, like, just to end this off,
it's all clutter. It's all clutter. It's all of it.
No, but I think the only solution is, if you don't know, if you don't know what it is, just start writing shit down. And that's what helps me. Just start writing shit down. It's the number one thing.
But t'es d'accord avec moi que writing shit down would not fix shit down?
Writing shit down would not fix shit down. Wait, say that again. I didn't understand.
It won't fix it. Like, it won't. Like, you.
It's gonna fix 50% of the problem.
We're talking about the winners Wednesdays on Wednesdays. You need a small W, bro. And we have to end with this because I need to go. My boy just finished. Everything is done. C'est tout fini. La job est terminée. We need to go, bro. I need to go back home. Like, I'm tired. I want to go home. But Winners Wednesday, we'll talk about that tomorrow. How to get the small W's every day is, to my opinion, like, the real way to get it going. You know, the real way. Like,
Perfect.
Writing it down is obviously obviously writing it down is it's part of it. But how to get the small W's when you feel like you feel like not doing anything, and still getting
what's happening?
and still getting check marks on your list. I feel like it's one thing everyone should learn, like, how to do it, how to get these small W's, bro. On parle de ça demain. On fait ça demain.
Yo, tomorrow, wait.
Guys,
tomorrow we're at
channel.
chapter what? Tomorrow we're at chapter what, Phil?
I don't remember. I'm in the truck. I'm gonna have to go check that.
Text me.
For 10x rule, we're gonna have to check that. Yeah. We'll text later.
Yeah, perfect.
But guys, subscribe to our channel. We need people. We need people on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. We need 100 subscribers. So please hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the other side tomorrow for Winners Wednesday.
Guys, I have it written down over there. Facebook.com/The Strategy Vault. YouTube channel is youtube.com/The Strategy Vault Podcast. So again, youtube.com
Thank you,
slash
guys.
the Strategy Vault podcast. Facebook is facebook.com slash
Bro,
the Strategy
55
Vault.
minutes, bro. We went
It was a nice
overboard,
session.
bro.
Yeah, I
55
know.
minutes.
We gave
C'était malade,
we give
c'était
our
malade,
viewers a
c'était malade.
nice treat today. Oh, wait, do we have
In the
our word
truck,
in the
bro.
chat? Do we have Randy Remitz? Je pense qu'on a Randy Remitz. Attends. Je veux juste dire bonjour à Randy. Ah non, il est parti. Ben voyons donc,
Ah
Randy
ouais.
Remitz. And I have to greet them as they come in. Because I keep having people that come in and out, in and out, in and out. I see my counter 1 0 1 0 1 0. It's been real, Phil. It's always real with you, man. Thanks again for joining from over there, bro. Honestly, I love your dedication to the podcast. I love how you, even though you're on the job site, bro, you took time to go in your truck. Like we say in fucking
Bro,
in
honestly, it
Vims,
was
bro.
fun. I had a
Yeah,
lot of
real
fun, bro.
one. Yeah, Sainte. Yeah, Bainte.
Yeah, Sainte. Yeah, Bainte. All right, on s'en parle demain, man. On the other side. Ciao, man.
Take care.
Take care.
Ciao, ciao. Yes.